What's up, Taiwan? I'm Erika Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. President Tsai has arrived in Belize, the latest stop in her trip to the Americas. Leslie Liao has a preview of what's in store for the president.
President Tsai has arrived in Belize on the 5th day of her 10-day Americas trip. Now, while here, she's expected to meet with high-ranking Belizean officials like the Governor General and the Prime Minister. She'll also give a speech at the country's National Assembly. And Taiwan's Foreign Minister Joseph Wu, who is also traveling with the president, will sign an agreement with his Belizean counterpart. Now, President Tsai will spend 2 nights in Belize. After that, she'll head to Los Angeles for a 2-night stopover before returning to Taiwan. Stay tuned for all the latest for Tsai's trip in America. Eason Sun and Leslie Liao in Belize for TaiwanPlus.
The chair of the U.S. House of Representatives Foreign Relations Committee will visit Taiwan on Thursday. Michael McKell is leading a delegation of 8 people on a 3-day trip. He is scheduled to meet with President Tsai Ing-wen. He's also set to meet lawmakers from the legislature's Foreign Affairs and Defense Committees. The trip is being described as a chance for the U.S. delegation to gain a better understanding of the threats Taiwan faces. The Taiwanese government body that manages relations with China has said former President Ying-jeou harmed the nation's sovereignty over comments he made in China. James Chater reports.
Former Taiwanese President Ying-jeou speaking to students in the Chinese city of Changsha. The former leader is on a landmark trip to China at a time of high cross-strait tensions. But some comments are provoking controversy.
我们国家在1997年前后呢修改了宪法，在我们的定义里面呢，我们的国家分2个部分，一个叫台湾地区，一个叫大陆地区，都是我们中华民国。
The Republic of China is Taiwan's official name. Supporters of Ma's party, the opposition Kuomintang or KMT, praised his remarks, saying he stressed Taiwan's sovereignty on Chinese soil.
Speaking to the people of Taiwan and China and all over the world, it has highly historical and practical significance and can effectively ease the tension between the two sides of the trip.
Ma is technically correct. According to the constitution, the country covers both Taiwan and China. But that's a reality many in Taiwan today feel alienated from. They simply feel Taiwanese. However, it was Ma's suggestion that both China and Taiwan endorse the One China principle that angered the ruling Democratic Progressive Party, or DPP. The Mainland Affairs Council, which oversees relations with China, said Ma had, quote, damaged the dignity of our country's sovereignty by saying that both sides adhere to the One China principle. The DPP, led by President Tsai Ing-wen, stresses a unique Taiwanese identity separate to China. Beijing views Tsai as a separatist and has cut communication with her since she took office in 2016. The KMT advocates for closer ties with China, but denies being pro-Beijing. Ma's trip to China coincides with President Tsai's visit to the Americas, offering a split-screen vision for how Taiwan's main political parties manage relations with the world. Ahead of presidential elections in January next year, Ma's words show the fine line that must be tread between stabilizing relations with China while not being perceived to compromise on Taiwan's sovereignty. Damon Lin, Ed Moon and James Chater for TaiwanPlus.
Sunday marked the 2-year anniversary of one of the deadliest rail crashes in Taiwan's history. In the years since, victims' relatives say officials haven't taken enough steps to prevent future disasters. John Van Trieste has the details.
9:22 Sunday morning. A passing train's horn echoes down a stretch of track on Taiwan's east coast. It's a tribute to the lives lost here 2 years ago. An express train traveling this route on April 2nd, 2021 was packed with holidaymakers who were enjoying the beginning of a long weekend. Just before 9:30 a.m., the train collided with a crane truck that had slid onto the tracks. The crash killed 49 people and injured dozens of others, making it Taiwan's deadliest rail crash in over 70 years. On Sunday, victims' relatives and rail workers gathered to mourn on the anniversary of the disaster.
就算已经2年了，可是其实对我们来说，就是很像是昨天才发生的事情一样。
This was the second fatal crash in 3 years for the state-run Taiwan Railways Administration, or TRA. While there have been convictions over the 2021 accident, some victims' relatives say officials have not taken enough steps to make Taiwan's railways safer.
毕竟很多是在法条上面的限定，所以我们也不能说责怪法官判太轻或者怎么样，那只是希望说司法在这方面还是需要有些改革。
At another memorial for the crash, Taiwan's transport minister assured people that reforms are on the way. He also said the group overseeing the implementation of the reforms will be independent.
他们4月15号也到日本跟 JRC 日本，在跟他们福知山线过去的事故的家属见面，然后也要看看 JRC 日本在这些年来做的一些改革，然后带回这个台湾来那我这边也特别我请前部长贺成旦来协助整个外部监督机制。
But the victims' relatives aren't the only ones who are dissatisfied. Railway workers are also upset. They say the TRA has invested large sums on safety projects that have put it further in debt. And that debt could hamper future safety measures, especially after the company moves from under the control of the Transport Ministry to become a corporation next year.
一个公司开门就是负债累累的情况下，它能做到什么的安全，我们非常的忧心呐。铁路工会一直针对的行车安全里面一直在做考量，我们无奈我们只能就用行动，用陈抗的方式，让政府能知道。
Railway workers say they will give the Transport Ministry until April 10th to respond to their concerns. If this doesn't happen, workers are threatening to launch protests that could include a Labor Day strike. Andy Xue and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
There's good news for Taiwan's indigenous salmon species. Once almost extinct, their numbers have not only recovered, but hit a record high. Our reporter Erika Liu has more.
The Formosan landlocked salmon is considered a national treasure, but one that used to be very rare. Found in mountain streams in central Taiwan, pollution devastated the species, leaving only 200 in the wild in 1995. This made it one of the rarest species of fish in the entire world. Since then, Xueba National Park has been working hard to conserve the salmon, and its efforts have paid off.
连续放流3年，每一年有1000尾的那个樱花钩吻龟，然后经过自然的繁衍，目前已经达到7000多尾。
The salmon is found in the Hehuan and Qijiawan rivers. Their populations have reached a combined 15,000. That's a record high and 60 times what it used to be around 3 decades ago. But while the number is encouraging, conservationists worry about how resilient the population is.
真正的考验还没来，也就是说，这个台风的影响最近都没有什么台风，是不是能够经得起考验？我觉得还是需要未来再继续观察。
Conservationists will keep working to boost salmon numbers to ensure a stable, genetically diverse population. But only when the salmon are self-sustaining and no longer endangered will this national treasure be truly protected. Rick Yi, Irene Wu, and Eric Gao for TaiwanPlus.
Scientists have set a new record for both catching deep-water ocean fish and capturing them on film. Researchers from Japan and Australia reeled in some snailfish from just over 8 kilometers underwater last August. They were caught in the Japan Trench in the North Pacific Ocean, at over 150 meters deeper than the previous record. It's also the deepest that fish have ever been filmed. The snailfish being caught on camera at a slightly lower depth of over 8,300 meters. The researchers are working on a 10-year project to study fish which survive in some of the deepest parts of the world's oceans. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we leave you with images of water dance show in New Taipei City, the most populous city in Taiwan. I'm Erika Liu. Take care and see you next time.